All right, everyone. So with Crown Jewel over, I think it's important to take a look and see what did this pay-per-view build for us in the future. Now, I definitely don't think this was my favorite pay-per-view I've seen in quite some time. It was really the first of its kind with these new belts and everything like that. But it definitely didn't have a big pay-per-view feel, at least in my opinion. This felt more like just something slightly bigger than your normal Raw or SmackDown versus like some of the last few pay-per-views where everything that happened just felt big. But with that being said, I think this does a great job of building to some bigger and better things. So we're going to start with just taking a look at a few things that I thought worked very, very well. So for starters, obviously you have the Bloodline. Now, I thought the Bloodline match, I don't know, I just didn't love it necessarily. I thought there was a lot of good spots. The crowd was awesome. Roman was Roman. Anytime Roman's on a pay per view, it's fantastic. But the way it ended with Sammy coming in and then turning on Solo, but then he accidentally hits Roman, so now that kind of throws everything into question. I feel like we watched an entire match in which you could take nothing from it. It was almost like filler in the sense that we don't really know much else. What did we learn from that match? Almost nothing. It got us almost nowhere. So that was a little disappointing, but having it on the card is fine because we always love seeing, you know, we love this bloodline feud. So it's going to be interesting to see. But the point is, they set something up big, right? Something with Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, and what bloodline will he choose? It looks like he wants to choose the other bloodline, but you know, are they going to push him to solo? I don't know what's going on completely with this, but it certainly is an interesting thing that they're setting up. So although right now it doesn't feel like it was some amazing first match, you do get the sense that we could look back on this in, you know, a few months and go, that was a big moment because of what it set up. And then you get to another big part of this, obviously, Liv Morgan, she ends up winning. And why I think this actually is super important that she won is because, they're going to now be able to tell this story of she takes everything from Rhea Ripley. Now Rhea Ripley's even injured, and the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is just an debatable success, right? She is on top of the women's division. And so when Ripley comes back and she faces her again, which might be, some time, but when she does, there's going to be a ton of excitement for that. And it's just going to feel so real because you can kind of really just look at the win that Liv Morgan had and say, man, she really is on top of the women's division right now. So I think that's such a great setup. And having her win, I just think it was really, really good. The next thing I thought that they built was great was the Bronson Reed Seth Rollins match. They found a way for Seth Rollins to win and win clean, but also not take any bit of like that kind of scariness away from Bronson Reed. And if you listen to how the announcers were talking, how Seth was talking, Bronson after the match, they set this up to be something big. They're going to have more matches. This is something I wouldn't be shocked to see, at WrestleMania time. They're really giving Bronson Reed a push. I love every part of it. And the story they're telling, I actually thought that was the best match of the entire night. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, that's going to continue. And, we'll see if when Cody is involved in that storyline. Obviously, the Cody Gunther match, that's a big deal. But once again, that's just about continuing to build Cody's brand. That's kind of what that's all about. I'm not sure that set up anything too big, but certainly, now this is going to be another talking point that they can use. So that's really all of my thoughts on Crown Jewel. I know we didn't go through each and every match, but I thought this was a fun watch. I thought the crowd was the best part of the whole thing because they were so into it. It helped you get into it. I thought the matches were pretty good, and there are some things that in a few months we'll look back on and think were even better because they built to something. But it wasn't as exciting as some of the past pay per views we have seen because there were some legitimately memorable moments in those. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.